Hello, folks. Sad day on the farm today. As a lot of you are probably aware, there's been a law change in Florida with breeders keeping and selling and owning green iguanas, and specifically that includes, all of the different morphs. So your albinos, your crimsons, uh, your exanthics, het for albinos. Even if the animals are het, it doesn't matter. So you have hypos, red hypos. Uh, you have your snow iguanas. All of those green iguana and green iguana morphs, super reds that I sell as well, are going to be essentially illegal to trade in. So, there is a 2-year extension which some of us have applied for, and I'll be applying for my 2-year extension as well. But the likelihood of uh, that, well, beyond 2 years, actually, it's over. So there will be no breeding for anybody in the state of Florida after July 2024. So it's a 2-year extension, and that extension is really to help people, the breeders, as a concession to the breeders, to sell the animals, get rid of the animals you have right now. So, like I say, it's a sad day on the farm. I've got a lot invested. I've worked 15, 20 years on different morphs, and now I find myself in a position as I've built up my collection and kept my holdbacks and my breeders, that I have to sell a lot of those animals. I'm not real happy about it, but such is life. I've got to deal with it. So I'm going to be going through the collection. I'll be making some different videos of animals that I need to get rid of. I need to find new homes for. I need to sell, and that has actually come down to this next week. So starting Monday, this July, I don't know what, I think maybe 19th or something like that. That week of July 19th, I will be selling as many of those animals as that I can actually sell. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to make some individual videos. Please contact me by text or by email. Don't. It's difficult if you call a lot. We're just not going to be able to handle the phones. So I appreciate texts. I appreciate emails. Maybe some folks that are interested in buying a collection or buying a few animals would be as good as would be helpful as well. So I'm going to go through and my collection and show you some of the different things. I just want to summarize some of the different animals that I have. I have the hypos. We have red hypos. I have an exanthic cross with red hypo. So I'm sorry, I have a red exanthic that's crossed with a hypo, which was a future line that I was working on. So I have some animals from last year. I'm going to have some babies from this year, and I've got to find that's a neat project. That was one of the projects that I was working on, was to breed those with exanthics and breed those with red and come up with a hypo line. I know there's a lot of different albino morphs, but I've done a lot of things with hypo, so I was really looking to see what I could create of that line. So those are going to be some interesting animals if somebody wants to pick up that project. Um, I have het for crimson, 100% het for crimson. I have a lot of het for albino, and I have a lot of het for hypo. Probably going back 2 or maybe even 3 years on some of those animals. So I have super reds, probably from last year, and I'll have some super reds from this year. Mario, can you think of anything else? That super reds got hypos. We got albinos.
Got albinos.
Yeah, we have an albino project. We have het for albinos, and we have adult het for albinos.
Those are blue head, white head.
Oh yeah, we have some of the old blue heads and the white heads, which I was looking to reestablish that line that back we were selling a few years ago. That was an interesting project. I have some curacao iguanas. Yeah, there's some curacao iguanas. That's another interesting project that I was working on, and I've got to look to move pretty quick. I'm not exactly sure how how many of those animals. I've got to sell a majority of what I have, because even if I get the 2-year extension, in order to keep the 2-year extension, they have a very difficult facility requirement, and I just will not be able to do it on a large scale. Even in Florida here, basically they're forcing us to raise those animals and breed those animals indoors going forward the next 2 years. So for me to be able to create, this 4-foot high cement thing with a cement floor and all this other stuff completely takes me out of my game, what I'm used to doing here. So I need to create a much smaller structure to be able to do that. So I know I have to get rid of a lot of animals I don't want to get rid of. So that's the bad news, folks. Maybe that's a good break for some other folks that are interested in getting in some of those animals. I appreciate everybody who follows me. It's really been a privilege to work with you people. Take care, everybody.